good, y'all? Your boy Zilla back here with another video. So, we finna be watching one of my videos.
Okay.
So, right now, no. So, there's a new thing YouTube added called Gemini, I think, or whatever they called it. So, today I'm gonna be answering questions how I felt about the video I made with Portal PvP. So here it is. So first, how does lag impact his gameplay? So, throughout the video, the creator frequently encounters significant lag that negatively impact his performance in block shoots. Yeah, technically it did. So yeah, it technically did affect my whole gameplay, the way of how I played. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I was really about to crash out. So, and they said it affected my gameplay by inability to move properly. Well, it wasn't really that hard to move. It was just that your screen makes you just feel really slow. So you don't really know where you will go off to depending on how laggy your screen is. And yeah, I did miss lots of attacks just because of that. But with shift lock, I think I can do pretty better. So, but yeah, loss of combat edge. The lag persists throughout the session, forcing him to apologize for the poor quality and making it harder for him to engage in fair PvP encounters. Yeah, guys, I really do not know how to fix this type of thing that happens, and I wouldn't really, I wouldn't really blame Wi-Fi or anything. It's probably just the way of how the phone works. Well, it depends on what type of phone you buy, I think. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. And yeah, I did get really mad. Frustration kind of makes you lock in a little bit depending on how mad you are. Let's see what it says. Of course, I would be using Ghoul Rays. Of course, it really gives you all the life leech you need, and it gives you the speed you need. Kind of like Rabbit, but more upgraded. They say Ghoul. Some people literally say Ghoul would be better than Cyborg for teaming, I guess. Some of them did. No, I don't care. So, what would I use instead of Portal Fruit? What does he? The player is actively working to level up his Portal Fruit, although throughout the video he also utilizes other weapons and abilities for combat, such as his anchor. Well, I mean, it was the safest option for me because I played with anchor for a while now. If y'all seen me play with it, cause anchor was like my best starting sword for PvP and grinding and stuff. Y'all would get it. And until I heard about the Kitsune video, I wanted to get Sanguine so badly. I don't know why I said that. or here that we used to fight. Well, when I used to fight. People said Portal was one of the best overall fruits for PvP. So of course I went with Portal. It took me a while to get used to, but still. Anchor gives you like good splash damage and stuff. It's kind of good if you pair it with God Human, and just make sure you try and get them players out of the Typhoon Toss before they even get up into the air. Of course, Ghoul Race is something that you can use for speed and life leech. I heard a player say it's the ultimate race. So, yeah. But I wouldn't put. Well, I would not do. Well, of course. Because I'm not going to attack players for a 10 million bounty. Since when did I say they were a Buddha spammer? Oh yeah, I do remember. Cause I don't really like beast fruits that be so spammy, such as gas, or dragon. And for example, imagine a Kitsune with Blue or Angel V4 in their transformation. That would be pretty worse than Buddha spammers, right? Yeah. Kinda, but still. So. But now I feel like any player over 15 million bounty, they are probably just easier to beat than players in the 15 million bounty category. So, yeah, that's why I don't fight players over 5 million in bounty. Of course, Shark Anchor actually pairs very well with Portal. So, and it actually really helps. But I feel like you should do Typhoon Toss instead of, I forgot what the last ability was. But yeah, it should be better if you use a sword ability first before you use the fighting style. The Portal is to just stun him in place so that I can combo him up. Yeah, it was a one-shot combo. Players usually call me runner when I keep my distance in battle. But I don't really go that far with them when I fight them. When I was using Kitsune before, when I never knew what to record back then on my other channel, I was just spamming with Kitsune and just getting lots of bounty and kills with it. But now it just doesn't feel the same anymore. But I keep my distance just because of what the player uses, or depending on how good he is with the build. So I keep my distance just to dodge slow range abilities, or to just watch out for whatever he will throw at me. Although it will be harder to see. If you can't see it from that far away, get your eyes checked out. Not like that. But yeah, encountering spammers would actually be just so annoying for y'all. I know how some of y'all high bounty players be. When it comes to positioning, and it just, when such things like dough, it starts to become positioning where you actually start to like sky camp depending on what ability they will use. Don't, but like, there's only one ability with good range, such as Doe Z or Doe X. The third ability on Doe, it is like one, I think it's Doe C. Doe C is pretty easy to dodge. All you have to do is just sky camp. The technical issues is just that I just be lagging all the time, or just when my abilities are literally a direct hit and they still miss. But I would also get mad when they shoot an ability and it's not even a direct hit and I still get hit with it. Such as my Kitsune meta build video. See, and I hate it when you just run when they have the most like best build to use, or like when I'm literally losing and I am literally about to like piece them up. Because like I hate when they just run all the time though. They just like run all the time. When I get them low or when I mess up a combo, they just decide to run away like the ice users in the video. If there was ice users, I don't remember. I hate it when players spam because they just be the most annoying and you're barely able to escape them because for some reason they're just so speedy. Just like Kitsune. I'm surprised they did not pack the Buddha glitch. Anyways, I just hate the frustration. Well, my frustration is the reason why I probably win in most things. What items do I use when I'm desperate? Well, Anchor was my most good option because I didn't have CDK. Okay, just to use with Portal. People say that Portal is the best to pair with CDK. I understand that CDK is the best to pair with most fruits. But I use Anchor because it is good splash damage and good combo potential. Yeah. Well, it depends on what type of bounty hunters that are in the servers. Like if I see really high bounty players over 5 million, then I would server hop because I already know I'm gonna get my goofy stuff packed. When it comes to players who are under 5 million bounty, people say they are the players who, I don't believe them, but they are the ones who are close to my bounty, and they are one of the players that are easy to defeat. I'm one of them because I'm in the 2.5 million category. So of course, it depends on what type of route they use, but also how high their bounty is. What I hope to achieve soon. I do not want to master Portal, but I do want to use other fruits that are actually good for PvP that will actually help me progress and get me up to higher bounty. Lightning is genuinely my main fruit. So of course, that's why I use lightning in most of my videos for PvP. Such as the one where I had God Human. But when it comes to player, but it also comes to what race they use. Obviously, the spammiest one and annoying one is Ghoul, for obvious reasons. I will probably still fight them depending on how they play and if they know how to use it. But I will still go after them even though if they know how to use it either way. Yeah, I hate it when things are just direct hit and they just don't hit. Really, I really hate that. So, yeah, that's more. That's all of the Q&A. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thank y'all so much for watching.